All right. Since I'm live, you guys can hear me. Please let me know when we'll get this started. I saw about 160 of you waiting, so I do appreciate y'all being here on your Sunday afternoon. Yes, I was a little bit late. I do apologize, but looking forward to the race today. I mean, hopefully at least. I mean, we can race in the rain, obviously, but the way this weekend has gone so far, I'm expecting the worst because it has been rough. Obviously, Xfinity got canceled before the race even got halfway. A lot of people are upset about that. All the concerts got canceled. So, yeah, Chicago's been a bit of a flop so far, but hopefully we can get a good race in this afternoon. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I don't think I even mentioned that yet. The mic is on, so okay, we should be good. But appreciate y'all being here. Again, a lot of people are asking me, do I think it's going to be chaotic? Do I think it's going to be a boring race? I'm not really sure. I'd be lying to you if I had a perfect answer for you. I am playing it more of a boring-ish race because I am stacking a lot of guys that are in the front because I think track position is obviously going to be very important, but at the same time, I can see scenarios where there's plenty of restarts and, you know, guys strike out and some of these PD plays pull through, but I am sticking with the side and I'm going to be playing a little bit aggressive on here. Now, one thing I will say is that I am playing less than I normally do because obviously we have no idea how this is really going to go. So I think anyone saying they know what's going to happen for certain is just lying. So I'm playing a little bit lighter here, just having fun, and then we'll move on to the next week. Although I think next week is Atlanta, so obviously that's going to be another random race. But yeah, hopefully we can navigate through this. I'll give you guys my thoughts. Ask me any question you want. Just here to have a good time before the race starts. We got about an hour and a half. And unfortunately, my Bob bot in Discord, it's like broken because Twitter keeps changing all their API stuff. So I've been missing some Bob tweets, so if there's any groundbreaking news, please get my attention so I can see it, because I have missed a couple of things so far, so I have to get Bob's Twitter up and ready to go. But I do have a dono here from Chris Jenkins. Do appreciate that. It says, do you think Shane is going to have a problem with NASCAR rough driving, or is he used to it in supercars? I'm hoping he's used to it. Obviously, he's got plenty of experience street racing, and he looked really good in practice. So I'm aboard the Shane train. Obviously, being around a bunch of guys driving aggressive and things like that can obviously change things. It's not going to be as easy as practice and qualifying, but he's got the speed, he's got track position, so we don't have to really worry about him working through the field in traffic. If he can just sit still in like third or fifth place, something like that all day, I will take it at his price point. So I'm definitely on the Shane train. He looks fast, and my plan is to play fast cars. You know, that's just the best strategy to go at road courses, because these guys can definitely get stuck in the back whether they're fast or not. It's just really going to be tougher to pass, and track position's obviously king. We've seen it at road courses in the next gen cars. So, but let me scroll up here. Don't want to miss anybody, but I do appreciate the dono, sir. First guy here, AJ, appreciate this. This is Mr. NASCAR. Do you think Haley and LaJoy will be good chalk or bad chalk? Also a little updating, getting an MRI on my head to see what's causing all this pain. Good luck. Let's solo ship the big GPP. Well, hopefully everything's going good with your brain. That's it's obviously pretty important. So hopefully all is well there. But as far as Haley and LaJoy chalk, I don't think LaJoy is going to be chalked today, so I wouldn't worry about that. Haley, he will be chalky. He's starting like dead last, and he is cheap, so he does make things work. It's fine. Like, there's definitely pivots to be had. Like, I think personally my projections have Austin Dillon as a better play, but let me check for this cheap group here. So yeah, I've actually got Austin Dillon, Noah Gregson grading out just a little bit better than Justin Haley, so there's pivots to be had for sure. Definitely pivots to be had. And I got a donor from man Brian here. It says, Chaos Baby, play all your monies. If you had to pick Hamlin or Reddick, which one? It's tough. I believe I have Reddick as my highest projected driver today. Reddick and Hamlin. So I would roll with Reddick there, but I definitely have a healthy dose of both. And there's a big price difference there, so you can do either. You got a double dono there from Heap. I do appreciate it, sir. I think you said you did well on Xfinity, although you know how Xfinity went. Not sure exactly how they're going to pay that all out. What's up, Rexy? This is watching what little there was of the Xfinity race. I saw Creed move from the rear to the field to 11th. So could some of the guys in the back move forward easily? All I've been hearing is it's going to be tough to move through the field. So, I mean, there's going to be some outliers, like Ross Chastain starting 34th. And while he's not my favorite play in the world today, he's not going to be stuck in 34th all day. I still think he's going to contend for a top 25, top 20. But at the same time, at his ownership, it's not like he was fast in practice either. Like, the guy was battling out with Josh Bilicki back there, basically. So I'm going to be a bit lower owned on these place differential plays, and I'll move to the guys like Truex up top, Tyler Reddick, Ty Gibbs, those kind of guys that are starting closer to the front relative or compared to the guys that are in their similar price ranges that have place differential upside, if that makes sense. So that's the route I'm going. Yes, there's going to be some guys that can pass. Not everyone's just going to finish where they start, but this track position is the way I roll it. Road course is the next gen car, and I don't think I really want to change it this time around. Got a donut from Man DL. Says 100% Larson fading Toyota. I know he usually donos me troll comments, so I'm not sure if he is or not. I know he loves Kyle Larson though, so I can't really tell on this one. I do like Larson though. I mean, obviously he had a fast car, and he's got the I think he's got the flag thing going on for him this week in the paint scheme. So if you want the little narrative there for 4th of July, he's got that rolling. But I do have a little bit of Kyle Larson today. He definitely couldn't fade him. Michael Thomas says, should I be worried about braking issues for Reddick? I know you were high on him and some others in your profession are fading him. Thanks for all you do. I wouldn't be worried about it personally. I mean, if someone can tell me if a brake rotor is going to explode again, I mean, be my guest. They must have a crystal ball, but that's not something I can know is going to happen. So just putting that aside, I mean, Reddick, the guy's amazing at road courses. He's got good track position. He was good in practice, some of the best overall lap times. I don't see a reason not to like him. Obviously, anything can happen. He could smack a wall, but, you know, just taking all that stuff out, I mean, he's a good play on paper. I mean, it's really the only thing we can do. We can't, on what ifs, you know. I mean, you can to a degree, but you factor that into projections with randomness and things like that. What's up, Sean? What's up, Chris? Let's get that bread. What are your favorite 3 plays on DraftKings and favorite 3 on FanDuel? So my Sims on DraftKings are absolutely loving Hamlin, and basically the top 3. They love the top 3 today. Hamlin, Gisbergen, Tyler Reddick, they're popping a lot for me. We'll see what the ownership is on Shane. Originally, I had him pretty high. I dropped him a little bit. I think he's going to come in mid-20s. Maybe I'm still high, but he grades out really well for me. So I'm not sure how other people feel about him, but he's got a really fast car, and obviously he's good equipment. I said that weird. Good equipment in the Trackhouse car. We know how good Trackhouse has been at road courses, so I don't think he's going to have too many issues here. Maybe he gets bullied around by the Cub guys, but he does have like the second best odds on FanDuel to win this race, and over on DraftKings he's top 5 as well. So I mean, the books believe in him, and I mean the speed's there. I mean, the guy's been amazingly fast. And then over on FanDuel, I'm basically playing the same guys on either side because pricing isn't really a huge deal this week, so there's definitely going to be some overlap. Mundo's World says, let's get this money, Chris. Let's do it. What's your top Dom and best place differential play? Well, the top Dom today, I think for everyone's got to be Denny Hamlin or Tyler Reddick. Just flip a coin on those two. And then best place differential play, the guy I have projected to gain the most spots today. Let me check. I have my top place differential play is Ross, then Chase, then Harvick, Cindric, and Byron. Those are the top PD plays today. But again, I am planning on being a bit underweight there. If everyone wants to play place differential, I'll play finishing position and hope we just don't pass too much and there's not a bunch of wrecks. Rick says Gibbs car today for sure. Yeah, I like him. Or you mean the JGR in general or Ty Gibbs? Either way, I like them both. Kelsey says hit the like button for sure. It goes a long way, and I always do appreciate that. What's up, Ryan? Hey, C-Dog. How are we treating this race? Like a hard-to-pass flat track? We're starting position as king, or do you mix in 1 to 3 PD plays like Harvick or Ross? I mean, I think a mixture is fine. Personally, for me, I played pretty aggressive. Most of my lineup is pretty much guys starting in the top 15. So that's the route I'm going. You don't have to completely follow me there. I am being a bit aggressive there. I don't know if you heard my chair. But it's fine to mix in a couple of place differential plays here and there. Like, I don't think Ross, Chase Elliott will kill you, but they got their work cut out for them starting in the back of the field. So I'm just hoping it's going to be pretty tough to pass, and I'll play the guys with track position. Rick says CP has a couple more minutes to touch up his makeup and lipstick. Yeah, you know how it is, Rick. Always a little bit fashionably late. What's up, Conscious? Brian says 4th of July weekend bash. Hopefully everyone's having a good 4th of July weekend. I'll be flying to Ohio tomorrow morning, so I've not really done anything today, and I still got to pack. So hopefully we can do that quickly. I think I hit the under, Conscious. It was close, though. I might have been right at 338, and it's a pretty good line. Ryan says, who are the 7 to 9K must-play guys if you can rank them in order of chalk ownership, please? Shane, Suarez, McDowell, Denny. I'm not sure I can rank the entire 7 to 9K range here, but just a couple of my favorites. I like Christopher Bell a lot. I like Chris Buescher, I like Michael McDowell, I like Suarez, Hamlin. But I would say favorites overall from that range are Shane, Bell, Hamlin. I think those are the guys that are popping the most for me. And I do have I did play some bets after qualifying. I got Kyle Larson at 1,400 and Christopher Bell at 10. Although I think you can get him at 11 somewhere. But that's the only thing I have. And then I have McDowell and Suarez to win their groups. So that's the only thing I got. And that was like 0.4 units anyway. So it's not a lot. Just wanted something down though. What's up, Choke? Says, are you running any Dom groups today for this track? Can we leave much salary? DK, that is? No, I don't have any groups today. I don't think it makes sense to make a Dominator group for a road course. And then salary? Yeah, you can definitely leave salary on the table. Some of my favorite lineups on FanDuel have like 1,600, 1,500 on the table. So I know you're talking about DraftKings, but you can leave a little bit more money. A little less money, I should say, on DraftKings. But either way, you can definitely be flexible with your builds. What's up, Paper? Nice to see you here. Andrew says, still trying to figure out how I was leading the Xfinity Mini and finished second with no laps getting run. Someone told me that the scoring changed afterwards. I'm not really sure what would have happened. I didn't really get to watch the Xfinity race. I was working on Cup stuff yesterday. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll have to ask Bob if something changed afterwards. Steve says, foreign guys more used to a road track. I'm a noob here. Well, Shane's got plenty of experience. I guess he did like supercars or whatever. Well, I don't know much about him, but I know he's pretty fast on Saturday. And he has plenty of experience on street. And obviously Jenson Button looked really fast as well. And Button's obviously not the best car out there. And he definitely made it work. So yeah, they got plenty of experience. Randy says, wet track, this could be messy. It could. Although it's supposed to stop raining. And it's supposed to be dry pretty much for the rest of the night. So hopefully it's not anything too bad. I'm going to pull up Bob's Twitter here and make sure didn't miss anything too important. Nope, haven't seen anything from Bob. Well, 24 minutes ago he says, still a steady rain, track drying continues. Cup car is expected to be pushed to pit road soon. Obviously we can race in the rain, we're at a road course, but I know Xfinity earlier had still water and they just couldn't make it work, but I don't think we're going to have to worry about that. What's up, PMJ? Says happy 4th of July weekend, everyone. Good luck today. LFG. Yes, good luck to you all. Good luck. We're going to need it. Clip says Bowman or Button in a GPP. I would go with Bowman there. I mean, I know Button was really fast, but Bowman's a good road course racer. And I'll take the Hendrick car, given the 1v1. Marty Huggins going to... I don't know who that is, Heat. Maybe I should, but I don't. What's up, R. Stanley? Says, stop playing DFS for a while, but I'm back. Well, Stanley, I can't say you picked the best week to come back for the Chicago road course, but I am glad you're here. Steve says, so lottery pick on who doesn't spin out. Got it? Kind of. I mean, we know who's good at road courses. Obviously, spinning's possible anytime, but yeah, Chicago could be more of a lottery. It's not like it's Sonoma. Sonoma, very projectable track. This, I wouldn't say it would be as projectable as Sonoma. What's up, Clint? So sorry I'm late. Oh, wait, I still beat Chris. Happy race to y'all. You can always beat me to the stream. That is for sure. What's up, Bowdy? Says, Chris, what do you think? Is this going to be a boring, safe race or a wreck fest? How are you playing it? I know I'm behind, so I already answered this. But I am playing it as more of a boring-ish race. That's just, if I'm wrong, whatever. I'm not saying you guys have to play as aggressive as me on this, but I will definitely be underweight on the place differential plays. Just... Hey, anyone and everyone's got an equal chance of wrecking. It's just not the front guys. Like, they can wreck back there too. So, and I'm sure mid-pack is going to be a hornet's nest. You know, the safest place to be is really going to be up front unless they're just trying to kill each other in one of the turns and dive in. But if they can get spread out, I mean, I would rather be up front than in the back. Now, obviously, a caution and pit strategy or something stupid can flip the field a little bit. We saw that at Sonoma, but, I mean, who knows what's going to happen. Got a donut from Man Spreader. Appreciate that. It says, thoughts on Shane's pit crew for a full field under yellow. I mean, I'm not going to be too worried about it. Now, are they going to be better than the Byron crew or the regular Ross crew or Suarez? Probably not, obviously. But I think it'll be okay. I don't think it's going to be a complete disaster. We know Trackhouse usually puts together something good for their team. I mean, we know how good their pit crews are, so I don't think it's a major concern for me. And obviously, being in third, they wanted the worst pit stall in the world, so. But I do appreciate the dono. Let's see. Austin Sears says, Happy 4th of July weekend, fam. Now do your part, make this country better. Oh boy. Nice of you to be here, coach. White says, dude's gonna freshen up. You know it. You know, not the best hair day, but it'll do. That'll do. DL says, let's take out Chris. He is wasting our time. Stanley says, I have 2 of Hamlin, Reddick, Larson, Bell, Truex in every one of my 20 lineups. Tell me this isn't crazy. It's definitely not crazy. I mean, I think it's very likely one of those guys wins the race, so I definitely want at least one of them in there. And then 2, I mean, these could easily be, all those guys can easily be running in the top 5, so I don't think you're crazy at all. Good morning, Bolster. What's up? Oh, I already said hi to Andrew. It says, I don't think this race finishes. Not sure if I should stack the front. Why don't you think the race finishes? It looks like it's not going to rain or anything. I don't think we're going to have any storms for lightning. Plus, we can race in the rain, unless you think it just gets shortened because they run out of light or something. But I mean, if they start this tonight, I don't see why they wouldn't finish it. Looking at the forecast. Yeah, I'm going to be having more drivers up front. Just the way I'm playing. Now, I mean, you could do both. I mean, you can roster guys up front and then throw in like a Chastain or something in the back. I mean, that's totally fine. But just the way I'm playing for ownership purposes. Got a donor from a man, A. Wright, says, I'm told everyone keeps spinning out during practice. Do you think that makes passing more valuable for people in the back like Ross and Chase? I mean, you could say that, but at the same time, I mean, some of the guys in the back are the ones that were spinning in practice anyway. So, you know, it's like well, yes, they're in the back, and other guys could spin, but they were also the ones that were spinning during practice, and that's why they're in the back, you know. But I mean, yeah, I don't think these guys are going to be stuck in 30th place all day. But for them to pay be going to have to obviously be inside the top 20, top 15, depending on the price point. Like Chase Elliott, he's being scored from 26. He's in the rear. I mean, he's pretty expensive. He's going to have to get up there. Guys like Truex and Larson, they're not going to work their way through the field and make a good track position to work with. So, I mean, there's definitely a couple of ways to look at it. Ryan says, Chris, who would you pick for the best finishing position today based off P&Q, Bowman, Suarez, SVG, Buescher, Dinger? If you can rank them, please. I think I have it as Shane, Suarez, Dinger, Buescher, Bowman, if I remember correctly. I think that's what I got it as. The pretty boy is currently getting ready and will be with you shortly. Thank you for the update, Bull. Heard from a source close to the situation, Josh Bilicki woke up feeling fast. I don't know about that. He was one of the slowest cars on the track yesterday. He must have slept wrong if he woke up like that. Zach says, radar is still looking a bit rough. Maybe it'll clear out so we can go racing. Let's hope so, Zach. It looks fine. I mean, looking at the hourly. But I'm no weatherman. I'm just looking at the hourly forecast on Google. Yep, I'm here. Happy Sundays, fellas. What's up, Obi? Happy race day to you as well. Big deal. Kevin says, Chris, you're a legend, bro. Right back at you, Kevin. You're a legend. Jensen Button. Yeah, I can get down with some Button today. I thought he was going to project a little bit better, but turns out when you have someone projected around 15th and they start 8th, it doesn't look amazing. But at the price point, he's like around 10% optimal in Sims for me, so it's like, it's okay. He can definitely lose a couple spots. It won't kill you. Chris Palmer says, thoughts on this cash lineup: Truex, Bell, McDowell, Hamlin, Harvick, and Haley. I don't have a problem with it. I mean, you have Hamlin in there. I like Truex, Bell, McDowell. I mean, I just hate cash this week because it's like normally in cash you want the mixture of dominators or good place differential, but I'm just not really sure how to feel about cash this week, so I hate it. Like, I think you can play Shane in cash at his price point. He projects very well for me. But definitely not my favorite week for cash. I think it's actually probably one of the more confusing weeks. But I think overall it's fine. I would be starting with Hamlin and Bell, though. Or Hamlin and Truex, I mean. You can play Bell, too. What's up, Steven? Bill Moore says, should I be fading place differential for the most part today? I am. They will be high owned, so if you're just trying to get different off of chalk, you could definitely go that route. You know, everyone thinks it's going to be a caution fest, so if you just want to be contrarian, and it's very possible, it's not like a huge caution fest. I mean, yes, there's going to be some cautions. Guys are going to spin, but you can mix and match your strategy or just go with one. I'm like on FanDuel, I have, let me look at some of the exposures I have, just to give you guys some reference, like how much I'm playing place differential. So highest owned on FanDuel right now for me, Truex, Hamlin, Reddick, Shane, Bell. So that's the top 4, basically, then Truex in 11th. And then I have Dinger, Gibbs, Busch. So he's kind of placed different. Where is he starting at again? I forget. He's an 18, so he's got some place differential. Then I have Byron, Busher. They're kind of like mid-pack there. Suarez, Chastain, McDowell, Elliott. So I'm still playing them, but I am underweight for sure, looking at what I have in their projected ownership. So it's not like a complete full fade. Like there's not a chance these guys can work out, but I'm definitely underweight and heavier on the front. Rick says, went shark fishing last night. Had a blast. Caught a few. Let's go. That sounds terrifying. I don't even like catching fish. So a shark, I would definitely take a pass on. Scott says, what about McDowell? I mean, the guy's just been one of the best road racers in the next-gen car. So I'm totally fine with McDowell in tournaments today. Probably the only kind of contest I'd get to him, though, if it's a GPP cash, you're pushing it. But if he's like a last piece fit for cash, it's fine. DraftKings and FanDuel both up their prices. They used to be set like $7,000 every time at a road course, and it's just such a free square. But unfortunately, they caught up a little bit. What's up, Alex? Chris, what's up? What up, boss? Happy race day, 4th of July. Give me 1 driver, 2 top 3. What is up, Alex? Hopefully all's going well for you. A driver, 2 top 3. I mean, odds aside, I would say Truex, but if you're looking for decent odds, maybe take like Bell or Larson if you want better odds there, I guess. But you're not gonna find anything too great at this point. Stanley says, Brandon Jones, Chandler Smith, and a few others had no problem coming from the back. I mean, yeah, those are going to be outliers, but just the way I'm playing today. Dakota says, cash. Not a GUI for cash. Not the best week for it. Any left for Priest? He's been all right the last few races. I'm not the hugest fan of Priest. Stewart-Haas cars looked absolutely awful yesterday overall. Qualified poorly. It wasn't amazing. Now, road courses this year does have a top 15, a top 20, but I'm not really going on a way to play Ryan Priest. If he's like a last piece fit guy, sure, at 6,300, but I'm not like in love with it. See, Miss Julian is here. Says, hi, handsome. Excited for this race. I'm more excited to listen to you talk about it. Well, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Now we have people over right now, so a little bit busy in there. Choke Hold'em says, prayers AJ. Oh, yeah. Hopefully all is well with AJ with the MRI. I know exactly what's going on though. Conscious says, lots of Polish people in Chicago play Keselowski. Well, there you go. If you want a narrative I would have never thought about. What's up, Carmi? Says, good luck today. I'm hoping Michael McDowell. Assuming wins. I mean, it's definitely possible. He's got good track position. He's starting in 6th. We know how good he is at road courses, so can't rule out Michael McDowell taking home a dub. Thoughts on Bubba? I like Toyota today, but I mean, Bubba's just so bad at road courses, it's really tough to trust them. Now, there's a lot of McDonald's sponsorship everywhere, so he's got that narrative going, and he's got the MJ Chicago narrative, but it's just really tough to trust Bubba Wallace at a road course. Like, we can look at the numbers. I mean, you guys probably get it, how bad he's been, but this year, 2-race sample size, we're talking average running position of 27.2, and if you're looking at the 8 road course races in the next-gen car, average finish of 26.3, running position of 25th. It's not been good for Bubba. That is for sure. Chad says, what's the stats on Logano's finishes when everyone is on a new track? Seems like he always is solid when everyone is unfamiliar. I mean, I don't have them offhand. Now, obviously, he has done well at new tracks, like brand new tracks. He's been really good. But, I mean, that's just not enough data to quantify into anything, in my opinion. What's up, Mom? Says, hi, bud. Happy race day for everyone. Let's go, Logano. So excited to see you on the gang tomorrow. Yes, I will be seeing you tomorrow, Mom, in the afternoon. I'll be flying into Ohio, so cannot wait for that. Dimitri says, top 3 Dominator and what settings for FanDuel, DraftKings you recommend? I don't really care about Dominators today. Like, yes, I'll be playing guys that can dominate, but I wouldn't be making a Dominator group or anything. But the 3 most likely I have is Hamlin, Truex, and Christopher Bell. Those are my 3 most likely Dominators today. But for exposure, randomness, I mean, it's just personal preference, really. I don't know how aggressive you want to play. But for randomness, I would say probably around 30%. Then he says, best bets on prize picks this week. Let me check if any of them moved. I did like Ross Chastain under 47.5 points yesterday. And I also liked, I believe it was Tyler Reddick over 42.5. And it looks like Reddick is still at 42.5. I like the over there. There's assuming he dominates a bit and then finishes top 3. I think that's certainly possible. And then Chastain. Okay, so Chastain got nuked a bit. He was at 47.5. He's now at 43.5. I don't think I would take him at that number. I currently have Ross projected at 36 points. So, but it's a random track where I like, even if it is below it, I'm still not in love with it. But I do like the Reddick over. Everything else is it's kind of fine, so I don't really think there's like another value. And while I do like Denny to dominate today, 40 laps is a bit much. You need 40. That's about 40% of the race. So I'm a little bit tempted on the under there, but at the same time, though, I can see him pull away. So really, the only one I like is the Reddick over at this point. But underdog, I do love the underdog props. Last night, I was just spamming a bunch of 2-man entries because their lines are so far off. Because typically these sites use Vegas for finishing position and stuff, but it just seems like they didn't update it after qualifying or practice because they were really bad. So they had Hamlin at 10.5 for the finishing position, but every book has him not as a favorite, but like top 3 and odds just about everywhere. But you could get him at 10.5 finishing position. He's now at 8.5. I took the lower on Hamlin though, but still 8.5 still doesn't seem like the greatest line in the world. But the ones I hit yesterday, hit the Reddick lower than 6.5. That's now 5. Hamlin under 10.5. That's 8.5. I took the Bell under 10.5. Just so you basically need a top 10 from him. And then Gibbs lower than 16.5. Like, that line is just terrible. I think Ty Gibbs for a top 16 I think is pretty doable today. And yeah, there's a couple more. I mean, I just think the lines are really bad over here on Underdog this week. Like, they have Harvick at 17.5. I took higher on that. I don't think he's gonna have a ton of speed today. And then I took Ross higher than 13.5. I think that's what it was. Yeah, 13.5. So I didn't even do prize picks this week. I went to Underdog because I thought the props were way off. Now, some of them did move a bit, but I still think there's definitely some to take advantage of. So go over there and look because their lines are out of whack. All right, I'm going to check Bob's Twitter really quick, see if anything has changed. Oh, that's great. Flash flood warning now until 6:15. Teams are setting up pit boxes and cars on pit road. Hopefully. I don't know what you call this thing, but it's like a hurricane. It looks just like a hurricane. It's on Chicago or something. Only NASCAR can bring a hurricane to Chicago. I mean, hopefully we can race tonight. I don't really want a Monday race, especially since I'll be in the air. But can only hope for the best here. I did forget to mention, if you guys want to check out all the questions you ask can be answered on Patreon with the projections and all that stuff in the spreadsheet. You can try it out for free for a week. I can grab you guys the link. But if you ever want to check it out, no hassle. Check it out if you want. If you like it, you can stay. If not, well, you can tell me to kick rocks. I don't really care. But if you guys want to check it out, let me grab the link. Okay. What are some medium end cars on DraftKings? You mean price wise? So if we're talking like 7 to 8K range, actually quite a few good plays. I like Shane there at 76. I like Ty Gibbs at 73. Hamlin at 8,000. I think that's like a really good group of cars in that mid range there. WFF says, why does Shane Van Gisbergen not have a starting position on FanDuel? Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. So I actually might need to message FanDuel and make sure he's getting scored today, because that'd be really unfortunate. But yeah, if you guys play on FanDuel, he is the only driver without a starting position for some reason. So not sure what's going on there. Hopefully it's not going to be an issue during the race. But maybe we might need to reach out to them. Okay, actually I just looked and he has a starting position. No, he didn't a little bit ago. But yeah, they must have fixed it, so I guess we're good there. Well, that solves that issue. Shark Killer says, another dumb track idea for NASCAR. Hey, let's give these peeps another ridiculously boring road track concept where you can't pass. Yeah, I mean, I think the whole thing was like it being a festival, like a, not really all about the race. Obviously, that's what we care, but I think it was supposed to be like a big party for Chicago. Well, obviously, the rain has completely derailed that. I heard the atmosphere was pretty good yesterday, and there was some solid momentum. There was people for concerts and things like that. But with all that getting canceled and just the forecast, I mean, this has definitely been a bit of a flop. Can't deny that. What's up, Margie? Nice of you to be here. Jared says Chicago street race could be cool. Could be. I don't know. I'm open. I'll try anything. What's up, Tito? I'm assuming, he says, you already know my message. I'm assuming it's just going to be Truex or log out. AJ says, are you comfortable having Reddick and Hamlin in the same lineup? Yeah, you can do that. It's always nice when one of the drivers is cheap on the front row. Like if these guys were 11K and like 10K, it's a different story. But Hamlin's $8,000, so definitely makes it a bit easier to get to. Albert says, does playing Hamlin and Cash Reddick and GPP sound like a solid strategy, or does playing both in the lineups work in any format? I think you could play Reddick and Cash with Hamlin, but how I wrote it up this weekend, it's Hamlin and Cash, Reddick and GPPs. That's the route I would go. But I mean, I would not fault you for playing both. Steven says, 220 watching. Should see 220 likes for the free stream. Unfortunately, that'll never happen, Steven. But everyone that does leave a like, I appreciate it. I really do. Jared says, Reddick, Bush, Busher, Hamlin, Haley, and Shane. That's fine. I like all those guys, really. So it's definitely a good lineup. Race Fan says, Gilly, perfect lineup for sure. He actually pops quite a bit for me. So I guess it's Gilly Gang season. TG says, thoughts on Briscoe, any speed or Bubba instead, even though he wrecks more than Michael Blasco? Yeah, both. I'm just not really getting to. I mean, Briscoe's in 16th. I don't know. I know we always used to play him at road courses a bit, but I mean, so far this year, I would finish 22nd, running position around 20th at road courses. I mean, probably just finishes close to where he starts, if not loses a couple spots. And as for Bubba, I mean, if there was odds for who's going to find the wall first, I'm sure he'd be right up there. Jim says, happy 4th of July, Chris. You as well, Jim. Thoughts on Stenhouse? Yeah, I'm probably just not playing Stenhouse today. I know he's like almost dead last, but I'm just not expecting really any speed from him. Probably just going to be back there for the most part, unless there's wrecks. If you're playing Stenhouse, you need some carnage. That's my opinion. I don't think we'll get up there on speed. Mundo says, are you taking a stars and scrubs approach or a balanced lineup? I'm pretty balanced. I mean, I just don't really think you need too many scrubs. Now, on FanDuel, you can go very balanced. On DraftKings, playing one scrub is fine, like a Gillen to round out your lineup, or a Gregson or Haley, something like that. That's fine. But I probably wouldn't play two of those guys in a lineup. But you can go pretty balanced. Sheldon says, when you said you were all starting guys 15 or above, were you talking about DraftKings or FanDuel? Sorry, I was talking about FanDuel there. On DraftKings, you do kind of have to get to those cheap plays in the back to fill out the rest of your lineup. So, like, for example, if you played like a Truex, Hamlin, Reddick, McDowell, something like that. You're probably going to have to take like a Gilliland starting 25th in the back, a Gregson 23rd, but that's fine. Connor Mosack managed to drop 17 spots without racing a lap today. Put me out of the money. So how's that happen? What's the ruling on that? Like, what happened? That's pretty nuts. That sucks, though. Are you playing in lineups where you're factoring in for a random early rain stoppage? I am not. I mean, we can race in the rain. I mean, that's not a problem. It's just like they had just absolute downpour, still water earlier, and they couldn't race. So I'm not building for that scenario. I was winning a bit on Xfinity, cut in half after delay, confused. Apparently, I guess this Mosack, I don't know how to say his name, went to the back afterwards or something. I don't know. So that's probably what killed you. Anyone going to the back today? Yes, there is several. It's like Austin Cindric, Chase Elliott. Who else is back there? Like Ricky Stenhouse Jr., he's going to the rear. I forget the complete full list here. Does Bob have it? I mean, it's no one up front that's going to the rear. William Byron's going back there. Chase Elliott, if I didn't already mention that. Okay, here it is. So we have Cindric back there, Byron, Haley, Stenhouse, Harvick, and Elliott, if I didn't say that one. So, I mean, pretty much all guys that are in the back anyway. Logason says, you like for cash, I'm still stacking the front more than PD. So I think a lot of people in cash will play PD. I think a lot of people do play Chase Elliott, Ross Chastain, Justin Haley. And that's where it's like, it's a tough week for cash because they just don't grade out as well as some of these other guys for me. So it'd be going against my projections to play them. Now, ownership projection wise, yeah, they're going to be high. So if you're playing the ownership projection game, you're probably playing Hamlin, Truex. I don't know if you could maybe fit in Elliott and Ross as well. It might be a bit much. But those are the guys you're getting to. Kevin Harvick, cash games as well, but it doesn't really line up with my projections as much is the thing. So I think this is an awful cash week, especially for a track that we don't know what to expect. Suarez versus McDowell. That's going to be really close to my numbers. Let's see. Yeah. So I got McDowell at 35.35 and Suarez at 34.84. So flip a coin on that one. I guess I would say McDowell, but it's really close. How many laps will it take for Josh Bilicki to get to the top? And once he gets there, is there keep up with him? Oh, I think we found Josh Bilicki's burner account. He must be bored waiting to get in. Yeah, not happening today, that's for sure. Rick says, Hamlin, Bell, Truex, Ty Gibbs, and Reddick on FanDuel. What's your thoughts? I got that same exact lineup, Brick. I'm running that in my single entries. So that's what I'm rolling. You can make some fun lineups over there. Hamlin, Bell, Truex, Ty Gibbs, and Tyler Reddick. That's my second highest predicted lineup. My first one has Shane in it, but I went the Ty Gibbs route instead. Hockey Freak Sean says, hit the like button. For sure. Helps me out. Anthony says, how is your MLB product done this year? I've had a profitable season so far. Now, I did have a pretty bad stretch once, but right after one of the races on Monday, I had a nice GPP, which was nice. So I've had a good year so far. The trick with MLB is there's always going to be swings. So you might lose for a week straight, but you can also get hot. But yeah, I do think MLB is probably the most swing-heavy sport. Not pun intended, I guess, on the swing. But I do enjoy it. Danny says, on DK, I got 9K left. Who would you take? If you don't already have Hamlin, I guess I would say McDowell. McDowell or Suarez there. Ryan says, if I had to pick between these two drivers for DraftKings single entry, Larson or Elliott, and these two drivers, Busch or Logano, and these two, Gibbs or Harvick. I would say Larson over Elliott, Buescher over Logano, and then Gibbs over Harvick personally. Mark says, do you think Kyle Busch is a good pick today, or is he starting too far back? I'm fine with Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch is actually a pretty good pivot off of guys like Ross, Byron, Chase Elliott, so I don't mind that. I mean, he's a great road course racer. I think his average finish is like second, the 2 road course races we've been this year. Obviously, a tough stretch at Roval in the past, but I mean, he's always been a good road course driver. When he wasn't in the Toyota junk, I don't want to say JGR's junk, but I mean they were really better road courses last year anyway. 3 most owned drivers on DraftKings. Do you mean like ownership projections? Like today, I think the field will be heaviest on Martin Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin, then probably Ross Chastain. I think that's where the ownership will land today. He says they're showing the race on YouTube today. Are they? That I don't know. How did Chastain qualify 34th, says Josh? I mean, I think the only people he finished ahead of Crash Cars. Hope they were just coasting after the win last week. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, they just sucked. Like, they were not good this weekend at all. Ross, if you're looking at his practice numbers, 30th in the 1 lap, 28th in the 5, 32nd in the 10. And if you're looking by the lap numbers, I tried to filter out some of the skewed laps. He is still pretty far back there. I mean, he's behind Burton, Balicki, Stenhouse, Cindric. His laps were all over the place. It wasn't pretty, so I don't know. He just doesn't really have much speed. I don't know if they just gave everything to Shane this week, but R. Stanley says, "Are you still with Stochastic?" No, I do not do any content with them anymore. It's just there's too much overlap with what I do, and so. You know, they kind of cut away from NASCAR. They mainly just focus on MLB and, you know, the big sports, especially if they're running their sims now, or whatever you want to call it. So, no, I'm just solo right now, which is totally fine. I pretty much prefer it that way anyway. But I don't mind doing content for other people. It's not like it's hard, so it's just fun to do. Chris Topher. It's a nice name. It's my name. It is pouring in Chicago right now. Yeah, I mean, I was looking at the radar. I mean, I know it's not a hurricane, but it's spinning like a hurricane. It's so weird. Bob 9 minutes ago says it's pouring here at the moment in Chicago. Also, just got word that Gilliland is in the rear now. Drivers are going to the intros. Oh boy. I mean, it's supposed to be nice tomorrow. I mean, we can just run the race tomorrow, but again, if it's at noon, I'm going to miss it. So, hopefully not. Marty says, can you rank Keselowski, Harvick, and Gibbs on DraftKings? Sure, let me just check my projections. I have it as Gibbs, Harvick, Keselowski. Everyone says Hamlin's due for a win. I mean, he's got a fast car. He likes it. He's in the best position to win today, so. Safest place to be is out front. That's for sure. Rogue says Ricky Stenhouse at 500 to 1 is my long shot pick. I'm not sure they could pay me to play Ricky or to bet Ricky today, even if it was a free roll. I cannot see a scenario where it happens. Chris says, do they race in the rain on this road course? I mean, they can. They have rain tires. It just depends. Like, I think if it's like dumping rain, I'm not sure if they're going to want to. I think we all remember Coda a couple years ago. Which I don't want to remember Coda because I was like all in Truex and then Custer had other plans for him. I think that's how it went, right? Custer rammed into Truex, or was it Truex ran into Custer? I'm assuming it's Custer that ran into Truex. It's probably the safe route to think. Sorry, just taking Bob. Okay, so NASCAR tells teams still working towards 505 green flag. Teams will change to wet weather tires soon. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, that wasn't in the original plans. Obviously, but I mean, I still think it's going to be mainly track position race for sure. Also, I just saw a tweet from I don't know if you guys listen to Dirty Mo's gambling podcast, but very unresponsible the way they tweet out bets and talk about bets. They have a 54 unit card today for the Chicago street race. 54 units. That is highly irresponsible. I think the most units I've ever had on a race is probably 3 to 4. I just picked my spots. This is absolutely insane. They have 13 units on outrights, 30 units on head-to-heads, for a grand total of 54 units out of their units. I mean, I don't know if they're talking pennies or whatever, but I mean, that is ridiculous. Did I miss any cash talk so far, says Timothy? Kinda. I mean, I think you're starting with Hamlin and Truex, and then a lot of people will throw in Chastain, but Mark says, Bell, Byron, Suarez, or Hamlin if already locking in Reddick for GPP. If already locking in Reddick, I mean, I think Hamlin's my highest projected there, but if you don't want to go the front row, I would say Bell. So Hamlin or Bell there. Alan says, Harvick on DraftKings GPP, last driver in. Thoughts? He is how much? 75. I personally prefer Ty Gibbs, but it's my preference, but Harvick's not like absolute worst play ever. Thoughts on Ty Dillon? I mean, he sucks, but he's the cheapest driver in the field. So if you just need the absolute pump play for the salary, I mean, it could be worse, I guess. Which ringer will finish the highest? Probably Shane. I mean, Shane's got a super fast car. Thoughts on Bowman? Bowman is probably the most play ever, I think, this week. Like, he starts 13th. I haven't projected to finish like 13th. He's a good road course racer. I mean, he's probably just going to like hold his ground all day, really. So it's a boring play, but he'll be lower owned. Carmi says, can I get the 3 lowest owned drivers on DraftKings that have some potential? Lowest owned drivers that have some potential. I mean, Button will be somewhat low owned, starting in 8th. He's got potential. McDowell, starting in 6th at almost 9K, he'll be lower owned. He's got potential. Kyle Busch. So hopefully that helps a little bit. Noah Gragson, if you're looking for a pump play, he's a decent pivot. I'm just glad they fixed Twitter. If we didn't have Twitter today, that'd be a disaster. Couldn't refresh my feed yesterday. I was hitting my limits, I guess. Okay. Stacking any back? I mean, I'm not completely avoiding these guys, but I will be lower owned on them. Anderson, I don't think they can race Monday. The streets have to be open. Bob said they can race Monday, but they absolutely cannot on Tuesday. So. How many passes will be in the race today? I have no idea. I don't know the exact number. I wish I did. That'd be nice. Ryan says, I know they have a 3-year deal, but I don't think NASCAR would do this again. It'd be nice to try it at least with a normal weather weekend. I think if this was normal weather, it would have been a lot better. So I don't know if this is a fair test. Isaiah says, Hamlin, Larson, Bell, Reddick, Gibbs on FanDuel. Yeah, that works. Don't mind that at all. I feel like I have that lineup. I might. Shark says there's no way for a Monday finish because the city streets have to be open for people to go to work. Could be a complete mess. I mean, I don't know. Bob said they could. I don't know. I don't think Bob would lie to us. And I know they're working with the city and stuff, so I'm sure they got approval for it. Rexy says, you think Hamlin will lead at least 40 laps? What's the field window or pit window? For the laps led, I have him at, what do I have him at? I have him at 20, I think I'm at 20 something. I can't find my page for it. But I have him like around 20, 30. So if you're asking about the prize picks prop, I personally have the under on there, but it's just I don't feel confident about it, so I won't really touch it. Let's go Dinger. I mean, it's a road course. You always gotta have Dinger on the radar. Although it wasn't like super impressive in practice or anything. How is pit road going to affect the stack the front strategy? I don't think you've covered that and they should pit twice. I mean, everyone's gonna pit on the same pit road. I mean, obviously guys can take chances and do something, but I mean overall I don't think everyone's gonna go crazy. And the guys up front aren't gonna derail the race, I don't think, or at least want to. Although pit road's sketchy. I mean, there's people, as soon as they get in that turn, they just fly right in there. So that could be a concern. I'm sure one of my drivers will hit one of the barrels or something. Bulls has your daily Reds update. Oh gosh. I'm not even going to read it. The real team is up north in Ohio, Bull. Just Jeff says, thoughts on Reddick, Bell, Logano, Hamlin, Bowman, Button, and a 6-man on DraftKings. I don't mind it. I mean, Bowman, Logano are kind of... They're definitely going to be lower owned. They got decent track position, so it's fine. But yeah, I can work with that. Definitely don't think it's a bad looking lineup. Jack says, fun track today. Maybe. We'll see. How's LaJoy luck? He was fast in practice, but I don't think he's going to be as fast as he was in practice, obviously. But starting in 19th, I am projected to finish around 20th, so it's not the worst. Cash core, thanks Chris, the best. I mean, the two I'm the most comfortable with in cash are Truex and Hamlin, personally. Brett says, how's Harvick at road races? He can be hit or miss at like tracks like Sonoma, those kind. I like him. Although today it doesn't look like he's going to have his best stuff from what I've seen so far. I mean, if you're looking at practice, he was 33rd, 29th. The 10 laps seems a bit funky to me. I'm not really sure how much to trust that. If you're looking at the lap by lap data, Harvick was like at the bottom. Like he just didn't really have that much speed overall. So I'm having a hard time getting to a lot of Harvick. Any drivers local to Chi-Town? Oh, do I have their birthplaces on here? I might. Let's see. Does the entry list have them? They do. All right, I'm looking at their hometowns. Not seeing in Illinois yet. Chase Briscoe's from Indiana. Somewhat close. I guess not. Unless someone wants to enlighten me, but I'm not seeing any hometowns of Illinois here. I'm late. Who are your must-haves? I'm going to have a lot of Bell, a lot of Reddick, a lot of Hamlin. Got have a decent amount of Shane, Martin Truex. Those are the guys I have a decent amount of. Got to keep checking Bobby's Twitter. Well, he said they are trying with some dots. That honestly doesn't sound too promising. It is dumping rain. My goodness. I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna race or not. To be honest, doesn't look very good. I know it's only 3:30 there, so it's not as bad, but still. Sheesh. And Bob just tweeted, raining as hard as it has all day. Not looking good, folks. Huh. Someone said I love a good hurricane on race day. Yeah, we're not even in Florida for Daytona for the hurricane. Went to Chicago and we got one. As it says, Hamlin, Larson, Bell, Reddick, and Gibbs, or Hamlin, Larson, Bell, Truex, and Cindric. Which do you prefer? Probably the first one there. Probably the first one. Albert says, going with Bell, Suarez, McDowell, Hamlin, Shane, and Button for GPPs. Is that too aggressive? It's pretty aggressive. I mean, you're pushing it. You're pushing it, that's for sure. But I think you can do it. Just you better hope for one boring race if you go that aggressive. But I mean, I don't hate it. Albert says, I already just read that one. Kevin says, thoughts on Bell, Truex, Button, Reddick, and Van Gisbergen. I'm pretty sure I'm saying it right. Yeah, that's fine. That is fine. No problem with that. Bill says, Gillen to the rear. Does that make him a fade now? I wouldn't say it's a fade. Like, he was already starting 25th, right? Yeah, he's starting 25th. I mean, he's cheap. You don't really need too much out of him, I think. As long as he finishes around 25th, I think he'd be happy. You can keep doubting the Balicki train, but it's coming, and that train is coming real fast. I appreciate the dedication you have for him. It's definitely respectable. Prize Picks place for Cars Past. I don't usually play those. The Cars Past ones. That's something I really see today that I like. There's like one prop I like on Prize Picks, and it's the Reddick over at 42.5. But that's really like it. I liked Ross Chastain under 47.5, but that is now down to 43.5. And I don't think I'd want to chase that one. So I just realized I haven't updated my CSV on FanDuel, so I should probably do that at some point here. Let's make sure they haven't called the race or anything. Okay, it says teams told to put on wet tires and make final adjustments. Okay. Now, is it actually going to happen? I don't know. This is definitely going to be interesting. Albert says, I'll second the notion of how swingy baseball can be. Definitely. Rome says, who are you liking for 6,700 or less on DraftKings with approaching this race with your strategy? I mean, overall projection-wise, under 6,700 bucks. I think it might be Jones. Let me check my numbers. It's actually Dylan. Austin Dillon. It would be Dylan, Stenhouse, Gregson, Jones in that order. Pat says, I'm new to playing NASCAR DFS, so who are some of the top plays on DraftKings? Oh, man. Not a good week to start your NASCAR DFS journey, Pat. But, I mean, the top plays for me, Hamlin, Truex. I think those are the top dogs today. Kes versus Blaney. I'll take Keselowski. He actually had some decent laps. If we start this race in dumping down rain, that's just going to be one for the books. Sorry, I'm updating a couple of things. What you got for me, Bob? Nothing else? It's going to be interesting. Okay. Brandon says, thoughts on leaving $1,000 plus salary on the table today? I think that's fine on either site. I mean, this is a race that could be very, very, very random, so it's certainly possible. Almost 420. R. Stanley says, go Browns, Watson, Chubb, Cooper, Hopkins. I'm with you, Stanley. I'm with you. Unfortunately, you know, Browns, I'm pointing the wrong way. Browns fan, but it's not always the most fun time. And by not always, I mean pretty much all the time. Ben says, Truex, Hamlin, Larson, Reddick, LaJoie, and Gilliland. I'm not the biggest fan of the double punt strategy, personally. Not the biggest fan of it, so I probably wouldn't do it. Thoughts on Haley for a DraftKings single entry? Haley will be pretty chalky starting dead last, but I don't think it's the worst idea in the world. I mean, if you're looking at the cheap plays this week, it's not like anyone really stands out too much, so I'm fine getting to Haley. Playing 4 guys starting in the top 5 too much? Probably. I mean, there's some else where it can work because the guys are cheap. Like you have Hamlin at 8K, you have Shane at $7,600. Bell's cheap as well, depending on what site you're on. I mean, he's only like $8,200 on FanDuel. So it's tough. It doesn't feel good, but I mean, it can work. That Coda Rain race got me $300 that day. Yeah, I don't even want to know what I had. I was pretty much all in Truex, and it didn't end well for the man. I'll tell you that. Unfortunate as it may be. Trey says it took 2 minutes of ads to get in here. Oh, I apologize. I unfortunately cannot control that. I don't put any on the stream though, that's for sure. We're gonna get wets to slicks to wets again. Yeah, that sounds fun. Frank says, what's a better play, Haley or Dylan last man in? I have Dylan just a little bit higher projected, just a little bit. Pat says, so what are some of the tricks of playing NASCAR DFS? Well, this is a weekend where I don't think any of that really applies. So I think on another week it'd be better. But this is one of those weeks where for a brand new track, it's pouring rain, and not really sure how it's going to go. So not a great week to start your journey, that's for sure. I'd play very light just to get your toes wet. But normally we're looking at dominators, place differential guys, things like that, looking at who's good in practice, things like that. But it's Stress says no lights. No, they can't race at night. Are you playing any Bubba or Briscoe? I am not today. I don't think I have any of them in my lineups. Jack says, FanDuel winner, Bush, Elliott, Dillon, Chastain, and Cindric. Cindric is really cheap on FanDuel. I do have him a little bit over there just because of the price point. But does Gillen position change anything? It's not going to change the scoring on DraftKings, if that's what you mean, for where he's going to be scored. He will still be from 25th, but it really does not change my thoughts on him that much. Surfer says, do you think that position place differential will be more in play if they start on wets? Yeah, if we race in the pouring down dumping rain, yeah, it could be more of a factor for sure. I mean, I wasn't really anticipating them to actually start in like a monsoon. At least wait till it dries up a little bit. But if they're gonna go, just, I mean, it could definitely be interesting. Thing is though, if you change your lineups and they end up just delaying it, they cancel it, and tomorrow when it's dry out, it's like, well, now what? So there's a few games we have to play this week. It's definitely going to be random. I'm going under on Hamlin, says light F. I mean, it worked out at Sonoma, but seems like he likes this car. Okay, got that fixed. Thoughts on Button? Really fast in practice. We know he's a good road racer, so I'm okay with him in tournaments. Not a ton though. Says give me Logano. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about Logano today. He's always just one of those gross plays. Nobody's playing Harvick at 35. Hey, I'll tell you right now, Harvick does not like the rain. That old man does not like racing in wet weather. Yeah, DBC is definitely going to be pretty good, Bull. I mean, no matter what happens, this should definitely be a pretty interesting week for DBC. That's for sure. Darren says DK Cash, Bell Harvick, or Stenhouse Reddick. I would probably go with Bell Harvick there, I guess. Ryan says, is Gillen going to the rear, drop him behind LaJoy and Austin Dillon? Your preference for a cheap play? Not really. I don't think it changes too much. I don't think it's a huge deal. Randy says, this racetrack is in a park and it has no effect on city traffic. I have no idea. LaJoy or Haley, last spot for GBPs. I think I have Haley a little bit higher. Yeah, I have... Or who was it? LaJoy or Haley? Yeah, I have Haley a little bit higher. Wookie says, on DraftKings, is this too chalky? Button, Hamlin, Logano, Suarez, Truex, and Shane VG. Pivots? No, that's not chalky. I mean, Logano's low owned. Button's going to be lower owned. Suarez will be lower owned. So, yeah, that's fine. I feel like Blaney is a play. He's like right in the middle. Like, I just feel like he's one of those guys that's probably going to start or finish where they start. Would you boost Cindric and McDowell if it's raining? I mean, I don't really think we can really give any guys certain boosts or not if it's raining or not. I mean, if you want to, sure, but I'm not going to personally do it. Fading Byron? I'm underweight on Byron. Sunny and dry in Daytona? Well, unfortunately, we can't project the weather. Like, I'm in Florida right now, and it's about to storm, so looks like some very dark clouds outside. The rain will be completely out by 4:45. 5 looking at the radar. Yeah, it's supposed to stop by then, but who knows? I'm refreshing Bob's Twitter, see if I'm missing anything. All right, I'm watching a video of seeing turn 10. That's super wet. I'm watching them put wet tires on, and it is pouring, absolutely pouring. My goodness. Jay Swift says driver props on DraftKings suck this week. Yeah, I mean, especially if you wait till after qualifying and stuff. I mean, it's just hard to find any value out there. Definitely got to be early and hope practice and qualifying goes your way. Bill says, is the rain change strategy to gear more towards place differential randomness? I mean, if they're going to race in this absolutely pouring rain, you can up the place differential maybe a little bit. Personally, I'm still not sure how much to change because we've never done this before. So I think I'd be lying to you if I told you that I know exactly what's going to happen here. But it could definitely up the randomness. I mean, obviously. So keep that in mind. Travis says, Chris Pennies, who's your top fade starting in the top 5? Ooh, I like the top 5 today. But I would guess the guy I'm lowest on is Suarez, but even then I have exposure to him. Oh, we know you're playing Blaney spread. You always do. Just checking Twitter. Man, it is just absolutely pouring in Chicago right now. My goodness. Oh my. Sergey says, sorry, I just got here. Is the race going to happen today? I mean, it sounds like they're giving it a go. That's what it sounds like. Is Buescher low on good play? Yeah. I mean, Buscher's amazing at road courses, so. Awesome, Pat. Yeah, play very little today. I mean, who knows what the heck's going to happen. I'm not going to tell you that I know what's going to happen today. I'd just be lying. I mean, we can set ourselves up. I mean, have an idea of what's going to happen, but I mean, racing in a monsoon and a brand new racetrack is going to be interesting. That's for sure. Thoughts on Bowman? Answered that. Rick says Bell, Hamlin, Truex, Ty Gibbs, Angus Bergen, and Brad on DraftKings. That's viable. I got no problem with that. Thoughts on Burton? Just a guy in the back. I mean, there's no strong thoughts on him. He's got place differential. If I'm going to mix him in, sure. Reddick or Truex, who's got higher ownership? Truex should be higher owned than Reddick today. He's got more place differential. Buttons 100% in 150 lineups? Oh, please no. Do not do that, James. Byron or Chastain at DraftKings single entry? I would say Chastain. Ty Gibbs going to victory lane? I wouldn't mind it. I want it to happen at some point. Keselowski's okay. Yes. DK lineup says Button, Gibbs, Hamlin, Truex, Van G. Yeah, that can work. That can work. Which cars have to go to the back? It's like Stenhouse, Cindric, Harvick, Byron, Elliott, Haley. I don't think I'm missing anybody. Bull says on Twitter, race is on hold, according to Bianchi. Bianchi is a credible source here. Appreciate the breaking news, Bull. Let's check this out. Okay, yeah, Bob just said opening ceremony is complete. They are moving into a hold because of track conditions. Okay, well, at least we're not racing in a monsoon, I guess, right? Hopefully. I mean, it'd be kind of fun to watch. But okay, Denny just tweeted, we cannot control God. What we can control is our decisions and reactions for unforeseen circumstances. Please, NASCAR, do not do this. We have too much positive momentum around this weekend to change the narrative now. Sounds like Denny does not want this race to happen. And if I'm Denny, I don't either, because I'm on the pole and I don't want to go into turn one with some wet tires I did not practice in into a puddle or whatever. So yeah, Denny doesn't sound like he's going to be happy. Or do they think they're going to cancel the race? I don't know. Let's see. Gluck tweeted. Okay. Sorry, I'm just reading Twitter. How's Eric Jones look? He looks like a guy that can probably finish around 20th, 25th. About the nicest thing I can say. LaJoy was fast in practice, but I mean, we'll see. I think he can finish around 20th. I don't think he's the worst play, but Sims only likes him around 8 to 10% of the time, which not bad. Pretty much everyone in the back besides Gilly got kind of just spread out, really. But Jones, double checking his lap by lap speeds. Let me check. It wasn't bad. I mean, it was. Again, it's kind of right around where he's starting, though. It was like 20 to 23rd, right around there. So kind of qualified where you'd expect if you just looked at some of the lap times. Rick says it's time to go pack for Ohio, CP. Have a good and safe trip. See you next week. Appreciate it, Rick. And I will be back by Thursday, so I'll still be here for the live stream. But yeah, doing 4th of July in Ohio. I don't have much to pack. I'm just going to throw a couple of shirts in there. We'll be good. Nick says, I don't know how there is too much positive energy. A guy literally died setting up the race yesterday. Yeah, you're not wrong. Now, the way they made the title, when I read that, I was like, oh my gosh, did someone get shot or something? It's terrible. But I guess he had a medical emergency, I guess, which still sucks, obviously. But they made the headlines seem very, like something bad happened. Well, obviously something bad did happen, but you know what I mean. Spread says hold for an hour. Did it say an hour? I should really consider getting my FanDuel CSV in, though. I think that'd probably be something smart to do. Hopefully I didn't miss long. We're still at 5? Okay, we're still at 5. That's good. Mike says, no way this race is going to end. James says, any chance they cancel this race because of weather? I mean, there's a chance. Some people don't think Chicago will let them race on Monday, but from what I've read, Bob said they can. But I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. It's kind of fun waiting to see what might happen, though. Hopefully they'll push DraftKings lock back if it's too far. Why is... Well, someone from the live stream is calling. What, Tito?
Damn.
You know I'm on a live stream right now.
You're still on there?
Yeah, hang up. Okay. I thought he was going to tell me some breaking news, but I guess not. Adam says it's funny. No race is going to happen today. I don't know. We'll see. I think I've answered almost every question so far. Jake says, JGR, baby, no way one of these no names wins this race today. It's going to be a star. Drivers cover this win. I mean, I hope so. I hope it's a stud. I mean, I got Kyle Larson and I got Christopher Bell to win, so I would take either of those two winning. But if I don't have any more questions, I will let you guys get out of here. It was a fun stream. I got to get my FanDuel CSV in, so I probably should get out of here. Sean said, did my message not go through plus ratio? I didn't see anything, Sean. Let me look. No, I don't see anything from you. Unless I missed a lot, but I don't think I did. No problem, Carmi. Thanks for being here. No, all good, Tito. All right. I think we have Atlanta next week, right? I think so. I think it's another night race. Let me check the schedule. I like these evening streams. They're more fun in the morning, in my opinion. So we got Chicago today, maybe. And then we have, Atlanta at 7 next week. So that'll be fun. We'll have another evening stream, probably around 5 p.m. Smash the like button on the way out. Jake says, I thought the dog was talking. Yeah, we got Oakley trained to talk English in here. So he knows what's up. I'm not fading Hamlin. Haley or Austin Dillon last piece. I will go with Austin Dillon. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate it. You could be doing anything on your Sunday evening, so thank you for spending it here with me. I wish you all the best of luck. I'm not rooting for a rain race, but if that's what you're rooting for, well, I hope you get it. But I'm kind of hoping this is more of a normal race without a monsoon going on. But thank you for being here. Best of luck. Leave a like on your way out and subscribe if you are new.